Welcome back, my friends. I hope life is treating you well today. Today's video is about the law of connection. It explains a simple truth. Ideas, people, and memories become powerful when they connect. A single fact alone is weak, but when tied to emotions, stories, or experiences, it becomes unforgettable. The law of connection shows how attention, feeling, and meaning work together. A new idea must catch attention, touch an emotion, and answer the question, why should I care? When this happens, it stays in the mind. Stories, images, and questions are tools that make these links stronger. Repetition and trust keep them alive. Today's video dives into this truth and shows how you can use it to learn faster, build trust, and create lasting impact. There is a simple rule at work in the world. It is quiet, but it shapes everything. Who we meet, how ideas travel, and what we remember. Call it the law of connection. This law says that things become meaningful when they connect with other things. Alone, a fact is small. Connected to feelings, examples, images, or other facts, that same fact glows. It becomes easy to remember, hard to forget, and powerful enough to change what we do. Think of a single drop of water. Alone, it is small, but drops find each other. They form streams. Streams join into rivers. Rivers carve valleys and feed the seas. The drop did not change when it joined the stream, but its life mattered more. The world changed because connections happened. The law of connection works like this. Simple parts, when joined, make something larger than themselves. Connection begins with touch. Not just touch with hands, but touch with meaning. When we hear a new idea, we listen to see if it touches what we already know. If the idea touches something familiar, the mind keeps it. If not, we forget it quickly. That is why teaching and telling stories is not about giving facts. It is about making facts touch what people already feel. The law of connection asks, what does this new idea touch? Who will it meet inside another mind? Connection grows in layers. The first layer is attention. Something must turn toward the new thing. It could be a sound, a picture, a question, or a moment of surprise. Attention is the door. Without attention, nothing connects. So the law of connection asks for a clear way in. Break the silence with curiosity. Ask a question that echoes in the mind. Show an image that looks familiar but different. Do something small and bright that the mind will push toward. The second layer is emotion. Facts alone are brittle. They break. Feelings glue them together. When a fact touches a feeling, it sticks. It could be a little emotion, a smile, an ache, a laugh. This small feeling makes the idea warm and alive. People remember things that moved them. The law of connection says, make the idea meet a feeling. A fact that meets feeling becomes useful. It opens the door to action. The third layer is meaning. Not the big, heavy kind of meaning, but the kind that answers a small question. Why should I care? If the new idea can answer that question, it finds a place in the mind. It connects to goals, hopes, or problems. It joins the scaffold of what a person wants to do. The law of connection asks the teacher, the speaker, the writer, where does this idea fit? If you can show how it helps, people keep it. The fourth layer is repetition across contexts. A word that appears only once fades. The same word that appears in a song, a picture, a task, and a conversation grows roots. It becomes part of more than one place in the mind. These multiple roots make a strong link. The law of connection needs this variety. It says, present the idea in many ways, in many places. Watch how it grows. The fifth layer is trust. Connection is easier when trust exists. Trust is like a bridge that allows heavy things to cross. If people trust the source, they accept the connection quickly. If not, they test it. Trust comes slowly, from honesty and from small, true signs. The law of connection knows this. It says, be real. Admit what you do not know. Mean what you say. A true connection lasts. The law of connection works in time, too. Timing is not just about being quick. It is about being right. An idea told at the wrong moment can be lost forever. An idea told in the moment of need finds a doorway. The law of connection urges us to pay attention to the clock of a person's life. Are they ready to receive? Do they need this now? If yes, the connection will deepen fast. Not all connections are equal. Some are weak and break easily. Others are strong and hold under stress. A weak connection is like a thin thread that frays. A strong connection is like braided rope. The strength depends on several things: how often the connection is used, how many different places it links to, how emotional it is, and how honest it is. The law of connection teaches how to make stronger links: repeat, show, feel, and trust. Connection is not only about people. Objects, ideas, memories, and habits all connect. Place names connect to smells. Songs connect to faces. A habit can connect to a time of day. The law of connection looks for these natural pairings. When you want to remember, pair the new with the old that is already strong. This is why people learn language by linking words to images and actions. This is why a smell can bring back an old afternoon. Connections cross the boundaries of sense and thought. In real life, the law of connection shows up in many places. In school, students learn better when teachers connect lessons to real problems. In work, teams succeed when members connect their tasks to a shared goal. In art, an image touches many minds when it connects to a universal feeling. In friendship and love, people stay close when their lives connect through small acts, shared jokes, shared struggles, shared evenings. Connection is the engine under all stable relationships. The law of connection is not magic, it is practical. It asks us to follow steps that are simple and repeatable. The steps begin with noticing. Notice what people already know. Notice their feelings. Notice their needs. Next, choose a bridge. This bridge might be a story, a picture, a simple question, or a shared experience. The bridge should be short and clear. Cross the bridge together. Then, plant a seed, an action, or a small task that brings the idea into daily life. Revisit the seed. Water it with reminders and small changes. Protect it from distraction. Over time, the seed will grow into habit. Stories are one of the best bridges. Stories create many connections at once. They gather attention, emotion, and meaning around a thread of events. A story does not have to be long. Even a single sentence shaped like a tiny scene can connect. A boy found an old key in a dusty drawer. Works because keys, drawers, and dust touch a common memory. People know what finding a key feels like. That simple touch can carry a lesson further than a paragraph of facts. The law of connection loves stories because stories put facts into life. Images are another powerful bridge. Images meet the mind fast. A picture of hands reaching for each other, a map with a bright path, a small flame lighting another flame. These images translate across languages and education levels. They make meaning without heavy words. The law of connection uses images to shorten the path from attention to emotion to meaning. Questions are small bridges that invite participation. A direct question opens a door. Have you ever felt like you do not belong? Invites a listener to step inside their own memory. Questions let people connect the new idea to their own life. When someone answers a question, the connection is personal. The law of connection asks, what question will make the listener search inside? Actions are the deepest form of connection. When the mind moves the body, the idea moves into habit. A person who reads, then tries one small thing, is more likely to remember and to change. The law of connection points to action as the final test. If the idea produces action, real change begins. Teach ideas that can be tried now. Give a small exercise that feels safe and useful. The action makes the idea more than a sentence. It becomes practice. The law of connection also has a shadow. Not all connections lead to good places. Bad habits connect too. Misinformation connects through strong emotion and repetition. A wrong idea that touches strong feeling and repeats across many places can become true in the minds of many. This is why the law of connection demands responsibility. If you make connections, make them wisely. Check the truth. Check the source. Do not let poor links spread. Connection can be measured in small signs. Watch for the spark in a listener's eyes. Listen for the question that grows. Notice the small action that follows. These are the quiet signals that a connection has formed. The law of connection is not only about the grand result. It is about these tiny signals. Celebrate them. Build on them. In the practical world, the law of connection helps with learning languages, habits, and skills. When learning a new word, connect it to a picture, a sound, and a repeated action. When building a habit, connect it to a time and a trigger. Make the trigger small and obvious. Tie the new habit to an existing one. After I brush my teeth, I will read one page. That small bridge uses the strength of the old habit to carry the new one. The law of connection finds the simplest anchor and uses it. In teams and communities, connection appears as shared rituals. Rituals are repeated bridges. A short ritual before a meeting, a clear handshake, a moment of silence. These create a field of shared meaning. Over time, rituals become signals that bind people. The law of connection sees rituals as tools. They are not empty acts. They are patterns that store shared understanding. Connection grows better in a clear environment. Confusion makes connections loose. Too many new items at once break attention. Overload erodes links. The law of connection asks for simplicity. Present one clear idea. Tie it to a feeling. Show a single next step. Keep the space calm. A clear path invites the mind to cross. Language matters. Simple words make connections faster. When words are heavy or complex, the mind uses energy to decode them. That energy leaves less space to connect to feeling and meaning. The law of connection favors plain speech. Short sentences can carry powerful images. Clear verbs move the mind. Avoid long lists. Give one image at a time. Repeat the key phrase in different ways. Repetition with variation is the heart of retention. The law of connection also values contrast. A dark shape appears clearer against light. A quiet voice becomes loud in silence. Contrast catches attention. Use it to place the important idea in relief. Slow down before the key point. Pause, then deliver the line that must connect. The mind loves this pattern. It opens for the new idea. Technology follows the law of connection, whether designers know it or not. The best apps connect features to habits. The most viral ideas connect to strong values and simple actions. Algorithms amplify connection by making repetition easy. This amplification can be used for good or harm. The law of connection is neutral. It is a tool. The user chooses. Connection is also a two-way street. It needs both sender and receiver. A speaker must offer a clear bridge, but the listener must be willing to walk. A classroom is full of bridges, but if students are closed, no crossing happens. The law of connection calls for respect for the receiver's choice. Offer, but do not force. Invite, but do not demand. Real connection grows when both sides move. Trust can be rebuilt if a connection breaks. When trust is lost, the bridge must be repaired slowly. Small truthful acts, consistent behavior, and small useful outcomes rebuild the rope. The law of connection allows second chances. It sees repair as work of small actions repeated over time, not grand apologies only. A single helpful act, repeated daily, can stitch a new link. Memory is shaped by connections. The brain stores networks, not isolated files. To remember better, connect new facts to many nodes, images, feelings, questions, and actions. This is why teachers ask students to teach others. Teaching creates new connections because explaining ties the idea to language and to the teacher's sense of identity. The law of connection shows why active learning beats passive reading. The law of connection asks us to be curious about links. Look for hidden ties between ideas. Two distant facts may join and create a new thought. That is creativity, finding novel bridges. When you practice connecting different fields, science and art, math and music, surprising new works appear. The law rewards those who see across boundaries. In daily life, apply the law of connection in small rituals. Start conversations with something simple and local. A weather remark, a shared place, a small compliment. Use the names of people. Names are direct bridges. When you use someone's name, the mind pays attention. The law of connection values these small tokens. They open the door for deeper exchange. When you watch a video and want to remember it later, apply the law. Pause and ask, where does this touch my life? Note one image and one simple action you can try. Tell a friend about it. Revisit the idea later in a different form, a short text, a sketch, or a brief practice. These steps move the video from a passing moment into a part of your day. The law of connection makes retention practical. Connection can be practiced as a habit. Choose one idea to connect every day. Find something in your world that echoes that idea. Speak it, draw it, or try it once. Over time, your mind will become better at making links. You will notice patterns earlier. You will remember more. The law of connection is a skill as much as a rule. The law asks for balance. Too much connection can clutter. If everything connects to everything, meaning becomes noisy. Choose which links matter. Prune weak ties when they distract. Keep the connections that serve a purpose. The law of connection is not a call to link everything. It is guidance to link well. In communities, the law shows why small, shared moments matter more than grand events. A single fixed routine, like sharing a meal, arriving on time, or lending a hand, builds connections faster than a big speech. That is because small acts repeat and root themselves. The law of connection favors the steady over the flashy. Finally, the law of connection encourages humility. Not every connection will be perfect. Not every bridge will be crossed. Offer the simplest path. And be satisfied with small steps. A single small act of connection can change a life slowly. The world moves by many such small acts. The law of connection is patient like that. This law is everywhere if you look. It lives in the way music brings back afternoons, in how a teacher's single question lights a career, in how a short text can lift a heavy heart. Learn to see these links. Practice making them. Use plain words. Choose a strong image. Ask a good question. Invite a small action and repeat with variety. Respect the listener. Build trust. Repair when you break. The law of connection will do the rest. When you understand the law of connection, you begin to move differently. You listen for familiar points. You ask questions to find bridges. You offer pictures and small acts. You repeat with variety. You honor trust. You choose clear words. You know that a new idea must meet a warm spot inside someone to survive. You understand that the smallest thread, if braided well, can hold great weight. The law of connection is not a trick. It is a truth about how minds and worlds grow. Connections make meaning. They carry action. They shape memory. If you keep this law in mind, your words will travel farther. Your lessons will last. Your friendships will deepen. Your teams will hold. You will notice more of what matters. You will remember better. That is the quiet power of joining things together. It is simple. It is patient. It is the way small things become large. In our modern world, the law of connection meets new challenges. Screens give us fast images and short attention. That makes deep links harder. But the law still works if we slow down a little. A sheer pause before speaking, a clear image on the screen, or a single honest question can create a bridge that lasts. Social media moves ideas fast. It can spread shallow links quickly. To make a lasting connection today, choose depth over noise. One clear idea, shown simply and felt once, travels farther than 1,000 scattered facts. Learning the law is practice. Start small. Notice which bridges work with people around you. Try to explain a new idea in plain words. Choose one image, ask one question, and give one small action. Watch how people respond. If they lean in, you have found a warm place to connect. If they look away, change the bridge and try again. Over time, you will learn which simple acts build roots and which end as dust. The law of connection has quiet power. Small, steady links growing to movements, skills, and strong friendships. Keep the rule close when you speak, teach, or create. Use plain words, a clear image, an honest question, and a small action. Repeat with gentle variety. Repair bridges with truth. Trust the slow work. The law of connection will turn small threads into strong rope.